and we will make sure that our friend will draw a card. Have you ever seen the Lethal with Airtie Resurrected with Shielded? He needs to cast removal if he has one. Oh, that's not the right one. We just... Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we have another Esper. This one is very different though, and it's more of the aggressive side of the Esper. However, it still has some interesting things. So even though it is kind of Esper aggro, as you know from the previous standard, it has very interesting, like more of a control element. Because sure that here we actually play 4 of them here, for a good reason. Our whole deck can draw a lot of cards. It means a lot of healing, and it also pressures our opponent very hard. So even though he might draw those cards, they will kill him. And if you haven't seen an Airtie Resurrected Short Lethal at the upkeep, you have to watch the games. Yes, it did happen. It did happen, and it was epic. I was so proud of this play. And this is one of the reasons Airtie is in this deck. It treats whatever you do, whichever mode you choose, its all controller draws a card. It's not conditional, he has to. With Shielded, that's basically he loses 2 life. And sometimes he is at 2 life. So that was pretty epic. On top of it, of course, Raffine is a huge factor here. We have so many creatures. We have like a lot of creatures. So this will draw a lot of cards. If you play this on turn 3, after, you know, or even on turn 4, after Adeline and some, you know, fillers for the deck, because this creates 2 creatures, this will create another 2 creatures, and suddenly you attack with 5 connive, and then you play Shielded. Man, you can heal 10 to 12 HP every single turn, while still conniving, getting selection, pumping your creatures. The synergies in this deck are absolutely broken if they, you know, all come together. And also even Kaito. Kaito is a different dimension for the deck. We can get into card advantage game. If you play it early, you can actually start playing it more of a, you know, as a control deck for a while. You have some Meathook, you have Shielded, you have Emperor and Airtie, you even have Kotos, and Kotos is actually one of the reasons I have chosen to showcase this deck, because I think that she really complements nicely the rest of the game plan, and we still get enough aggression that, you know, we can force our opponent to remove other creatures. So Kotosei, man, I said it wrong, didn't I? Kotosei, she will survive most of the time, and in our usual deck she dies instantly because we had no creatures before, so Infernal Grasps are there. So in this deck it's probably used already before Kotosei comes into battlefield, so it means that you have more time to cast the card and extract those Invoke the Spells, because let's be honest, that's what we all want to extract from our opponent deck, and we want to play it as well. So even though, let's go for the early game and mid game. So Thalia is, yeah, I actually should probably start with it. Do you like spells? If you do, that's not the deck for you. We actually don't have a single spell in this whole deck, or should I say instant or sorcery, because all of the cards are spells, right? We have only Emperor and Meathook that aren't creatures. And Kaito. Rest of the deck is all creatures. This means that Thalia doesn't really hurt us, so we can play her as a regular 2-drop with added upside that against most of the deck she's really good. And like, you are getting this benefit of being on the play as an aggro deck, while still playing, you know, and maybe not typical Esper pile, but more of a mid-rangey, you know, value-packed deck. So this definitely makes for some insanely explosive openings. Even Thalia into Raffine means that your opponent, if he wants to get rid of Raffine, which is usually the prime target, he needs to pay 2 extra mana. If he's on the draw, he has like, what, 2 lands, he plays the 3rd ones, he can use 1 mana removal. Unless he has Voltage Surge, he cannot remove this. And when he removes Thalia, it means that you still get to keep Raffine, so you play Adeline, suddenly you create token, you start conniving for 2, Raffine has 6 toughness. Like, things start to go really wild and really bad for your opponent. So at this point he usually cannot remove anything. So Very, very strong deck. I have some doubts about this card. It didn't really do too much in the games I've played. It definitely has some potential, and I think Death Touch is the saving grace, because in the end it is an attacker that you can always use with Raffine, because like if they block it, they still trade 1 for 1, and you don't need to pump it, so you can pump the Raffine, you know, and then Raffine gets the benefit. This one is awkward to block, and the drain, I guess it's nice, especially if you combine it with Meathook Massacre. I didn't love this one. Like, it's probably good, but it didn't work super much for me. So maybe Jadar? Maybe. Hard to say, but definitely one of the feelings I had after playing this deck. Brutal, for the 3 drops, you of course have usually the choice of Adeline and Raffine. Don't go greedy with Kaito most of the time, because you are mostly an aggression deck. You want to kill your opponent and you want to go wide. So if you can choose between Adeline, Kaito, and Raffine, you probably want to cast Adeline and then follow up with Raffine. Unless you expect a removal, then you start with Raffine, because it's harder to remove thanks to Ward and for toughness. Brutal Cathar, of course, conditional. It's really good against Fable. That's one of the good usage for the card. If they cast Fable, you answer with Brutal Cathar, and you know, you basically traded 0 for 1 in a way. Of course, Fable is 2 for 1, so we are still not ahead, but at least you are not behind, which is usually the case against Fable. Alright, and Ertai, of course, very good closer, so if you have all the deck going, and you have Connive, you have so many tokens, triggers, counters from Raffine, you just want to lock the board, because if nothing gets added to the board, you win the game. And that's why Ertai is for, on top of being, you know, show that mini combo. And you just counter whatever sweeper they play, and that should be enough to win the game, because you also get additional creature with flash, so it means that you connive for more. It basically is for extra damage usually. So that's the deck. About the results. We went, of course, sweaty as always, because we are in high Mythic, so we cannot just have fun. And we went exactly 50% win rate with this deck, which in high Mythic I consider a huge win, especially that the only games basically we were losing, like, you know, as a rule, was mono blue. And also I got mana screwed multiple times, so most of the games didn't feel like a real game, like I just couldn't cast my spells, or my opponent had mono blue with perfect opening on the play, so honestly most of the decks cannot do much about it. And to be fair, I really think that we have much better matchup against mono blue than I had in my experience, because we are a creature deck with Thalia, but I was never on the play with Thalia and without mana screw so far. So I think we have much better matchup than this, and you know, it's in the end about our opening hands, you know. So that's my feelings about the deck. I think it's really strong, and oh, and right, some fun remark. If you like rares, this is your deck. We actually play only 2 plains, 2 swamps. The rest of the deck are rares and mythics. I find it kinda hilarious. This is probably one of the most expensive decks ever to craft if you are just want to, you know, you don't have cards from the collection. So definitely something to be careful of. Yeah, don't use the craft all button if you are short on wildcards, because it might end badly. Alright, so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the decks and the channel and the games. So don't forget to subscribe, it really helps me to grow the channel, and I really appreciate everyone that did subscribe. You are really great, and thank you for support, that means a lot. And I think let's just go into the games and have some fun in Sweaty Mythic. Alright, so opponent goes first as always. However, our start is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Our opponent said hello, and we'll hello back, because it's a JoJo. Alright, can I make a JoJo reference? Ha, I just did. That was super funny. So we are against Mono Black this time. Let's get the Raffine Tower out of the way. And of course, Mono Black on the play with 1 drop. Classic. So what is the plan here? We will see what he plays. So far he has on the play Perfect Curve and basically the best opening possible, so definitely a bit of a rough start. We have Sadistic Pilgrim, and he will be very sadistic this game. Let's see how he plays. Alright, we do it like this. He can trade, but it means that he needs to break his turn and he cannot anymore cast the Trespasser. And then we can cast the Brutal Cathar, right, if we want, or Adeline. But okay, that's fine. It depended on how he plays. We might need double white. Yeah, we definitely go for Adeline. Ouch. Adeline is decent blocker here, and she will... Vigilance is a big deal, because it will reverse quite a lot of game. Trespasser doesn't do anything, Infernal Grasp is the best draw. They might go for the Meathook. So this is why... This is the reason why we will take a lot of damage, because I don't want to hit a Meathook for 1. It's perfect for him, it kills our Adeline for free. And I think if he had Infernal Grasp, he would already cast it. He got the Sleeper. Okay, and actually we are starting to play the game, which is sweet. Artai Resurrected is very decent. Brutal Cathars are very decent. So, okay, if he played like this, it seems one of those cards is Meathook Massacre. So from now on we... Oh, right. No, he milled it. Okay, so that's not the hand one. So we need to play around Meathook Massacre from now on. If I cast Shrouded, this will be exactly in Meathook Massacre range. So maybe we just do this. It protects his Tenacious Underdog. But we start to make some board. And that's something that counts. And we can set up so good that we Artai Resurrected the Meathook at some point. Do we take this damage? This one is risky. I know, it's the most weird block you ever seen, but it's good against Meathook. And I think as long as we don't get Meathook, we should win this. And Adeline starts to be bigger and bigger. Evolved Sleeper is definitely something we need to consider. So he can get to 3. And our Adeline is also 3. It might be the shorted turn, honestly. I don't think he has spot removal because he would already cast it. Do we want to attack for 3? What is his best? Yeah, he needs to trade the Sleeper, and that's fine. Like, as long as he trades Sleeper, I'm pretty okay about it. It's a strong card. And also he will start drawing cards with it and growing above what we have. So no. Even though he loses 3 life, he will draw removal very quickly. That's fine. So we have Shrouded in the board, and we have another Shrouded, and we have more cards than he does. Also, Shrouded starts to do the Shrouded magic, and with Kaito we can actually double heal every turn if we really want. I think he still is fishing for the Meathook. I might be wrong for the full game. Oh no, oh, I think he has Meathook, but now he drew Liliana as well. Well, that definitely will be an issue. Probably one of the best draws, unfortunately. But that's fine. We have another Shrouded for this reason. So the chance he draws another Liliana are pretty low, but he also has Invoke Despair. So, you know, there are ways. He has 7 cards that are good for the situation, and that's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Shrouded is also an option. We still need to play around this Meathook. Like, if we went for this decision, we need to go through. And if he has invoked that, the life is least of our problems because we have no board against Planewalker. So yeah, I think this is best. And with Adeline we can attack with Shrouded, maybe. We don't have enough lands for double play. Oh, that's an interesting choice. So he did it just for the card. I think he really wants to kill the Shrouded. He's losing a lot of HP for this. Alright, this is important. Oh man, Kaito. We want to attack, but the problem is that we need tempo, not cards. Adeline would be really good in this position, I feel. This is also healing. Man, maybe it's good. I think Brutal Cathar. I told you, he had it the whole time. The whole time he was playing for Meathook and we didn't fall for it. I think... Man, my headphones just dropped out of excitement. Yeah, we got you, bro. We knew the pattern of attacking into defenders. Alright, and now he's into trouble. He needs to draw a remover or he loses the game. Alright, that was a short stop. You know what? It feels that we are pretty okay here. Main, definitely main. Alright, so we want to definitely attack Liliana and kill her. Do I want the Adeline? If we cast the Emperor, we lose 1 HP, which... Oh my friend. You will have some cool stuff going on. I just realized we can just kill him. Alright. First, a card for you. A trigger for you. Especially for you. And now Airtight. I want to stress that he has to draw a card. He doesn't get to choose if he wants to draw the card. And we will make sure that our friend will draw a card. Have you ever seen the lethal with Airtight Resurrected with Shielded? He needs to cast removal if he has one. Oh, that's not the right one. We just... Oh, I'm proud of this win. Enjoy your card, my friend. Oh, that's a trigger. Oh, that felt really good. Especially after playing around Meathook Massacre. I think we played it. Mwah. Alright, we are actually going first on curve. This happened. Oh, I'm so excited. Alright, so Thalia on the play. Definitely not the worst there is. Oh man. But still, we need to fight for the win. I don't think it will be so easy. That was a wrong count, of course, but you know, I like to have 19 life. 20 is overrated. Of course, I should have played the Plaza, just for the white mana. However, alright, so this is definitely a 3 mana something. With Thalia, they cannot counter it, so this is extremely important for the rest of the game. Let's cast the Plaza, play the Plaza, sorry. Is Adeline better or Raffine? They have removal spells. I honestly think it is Adeline in the end. And the reason is that she makes a board on her own, and this forces a sweeper at some point. And with Raffine benefits from all the extra tokens, so it's much bigger play when you have already a huge board that is white. And with this pressure, he needs to play something. This means that he might be tapped out during our turn. Oh, this is really devastating. Like, he has something, it might be a march, it might be a white march. However, white march is not the greatest. Like, he needs to exile a lot of cards here, and we still get the things. Alright, so he probably wants to kill Thalia the most, even though Adeline is a monster. Of course, you always make the token first, then you have better connive. They might have something like Fading Hope, and you know what? It's fine. So we are targeting the only creature they don't care about, so now they need to start caring about it, because they really want to kill Thalia the most. Second target is Adeline. Ravenman is not the worst, but I would love some more power, honestly. Oh, we have a lot of lands. Brutal Cathar? You know what? I will sacrifice Brutal Cathar. Not the best draw, but you know, it has to do. It has to do. Also, Thalia makes sure that Sweeper is not an option for the next turn. I think they have March and they are oh my god, is this artist? It might be. Alright, so anyway. I think they should use the March on Thalia and then step and depopulate main phase. And that would be probably the best play. Right now I don't think they can do it. Yeah, like, they don't have enough mana to answer everything, and that's a game. So we just smork to not make it longer. We use it on the smallest creature, just ensure. And let's go all in. He's tapped out, right? And he's a gentleman or gentlewoman, and he let us go with the damage. I would say good game, but you cannot say it first really, so, you know. Alright, so we are going second, but we are not mana screwed. We kinda are, because we only have white, but we will use Plaza of Heroes to cast something. That's one of the good things about playing Plaza here. It will probably be Thalia. Our draw would be absolutely much better on the play. With Thalia and Rafin it would be nearly unbeatable. But you know, it's fine. This is definitely a Thalia. You know what? Alright, let's read the card. Add 1 mana of... Okay, 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell. Okay, you are a legendary spell. Because this opens Rafin next turn. If we cast a Ganjo, we cannot have Esper mana next turn. So I don't think I might cast Rafin, not sure. Oh man, that's rough. Like, not gonna lie, that's really rough. So this has to be Rafin. We have a Ganjo, and just like this, a Ganjo stopped being a land. And we need to start pumping Thalia. She's really important right now, and we are drawing a lot of her. So we need to get her to, you know, for attack, I guess. To pressure at least a little bit. As long as Thalia's on the board, it's hard. Man, we drew 4 Thalias in a row. Shuffler Conspiracy is on. I mean, let's cycle those. I think he will try to kill Thalia. Oh, he doesn't. That's weird. You know what? I will do a little bit of all-in. He might remove her in response, and that will be a big punishment. It might happen. He definitely wants it to happen. Oh, don't do it. Don't. Lightning strike. I mean, yeah, I guess. Unfortunate, this was the last time when he can do it. But, well, it is what it is. Alright, so we can kill him. We can kill the Jin, or replay the Thalia. And honestly, I think Thalia really hurt him this time. Man, if we play a Ganjo, we can cast another spell. That's kinda big. Okay, so this means that the ordering was wrong, of course. Alright. Hopefully 1 damage won't make a huge difference, but definitely, yeah. With Jin, it really helps against Thalia, I guess. Well, this will be rough. He had really good opening. And this lightning strike was huge. Basically the whole thing relied on this one. And that's fine, that's fine. So, first things first. Do we want to get rid of Jin or the egg? Honestly, I think egg is much more important. Okay, let's start the drain. Even if he gets it back, it will flip to 0 again. And that's all that matters. He cannot cast a... Well, I guess he can with the Jin. So we need to be a bit careful. Definitely this one because of the Death Touch. Definitely Rafin. Do we go with the Thalia as well? Not really. Let's go like this. Alright, some decent cards. Emperor will probably be huge at some point. I think this is the play. Like, we cannot go too many runs. We just want to keep pumping creatures and cycling cards. And trying to pressure them. Of course, Emperor is a bit of anti-synergy with the Thalia. But usually it's just 1 mana, so you can take it. Alright, as long as he uses all the removal on those stuff, all we need to do is use Shardred. Yeah, so next turn it's Shardred, and then he cannot really draw cards. Alright, I honestly think he should have attacked. Most likely. Alright, so I think we do the usual. I need to put counters on Raffin every single turn, because he grows his board and we also need to grow ours. Oh man. So he can block for... Yeah, we need both cards to be non-lands, definitely. Shortcut is something we cast. I think Brutal Cathar is pretty good, though we really need Kaito. Man, I don't think we have time to cast Kaito this game. Risky, but I think this is the right call. We need to pump it as much as possible. Whenever you see red mana, it means they cannot remove creatures unless they, you know, over damage their toughness. They don't have destroy effects. And you... Oh, that's interesting choice. Didn't expect this one, to be honest. Not sure if he realized about the Death Touch, but I think he did, right? I think he did. And this is the best punishment against draw decks. And also it has 5 toughness, together with the Thalia attacks. I guess the Jin like makes it, you know, different. But when he starts attacking, we just use Emperor, and he has damage cut in half, basically. Alright, alright. Okay, good. That was nice. With Emperor, I think we could make it. Well, that was a hard game, definitely. He had a really strong opening, but he used removal maybe on the wrong targets. Alright, so what do we think about this hand? I think that we need 2 lands or we die. At least 1. But we are on the draw. On the draw, and we have Raffin to cycle, so as long as we hit... Well, you know, you are a mono blue player, but I also played mono blue, so I cannot hate on anyone playing this deck. And he's lazy boy, so, you know, I like the guy already. I think he's a fellow spirit. Alright, so what do we want to get countered? First, Ravenman. Ravenman is the worst one. Jadar is actually pretty decent here. Yep. Let's start the game. Man, it's so hard to play. I'm not sure why anyone who wants to rank plays anything except mono blue. To be fair. Alright, so let's eat some more counter. I've noticed they hate Brutal Cathar because they never cast anything main phase. So this is something they usually like to counter. And you know, it's a 3 mana 3/3 with decent ward. So it always hits a counter spell so far. But yeah, this deck is absolutely strong against whatever is going on. So Raffin is more expensive, it's also better. I think we start with Jadar Train. So how the game will look like. We will cast 1 spell every single turn. And at some point we hope they won't counter, and if they do, we lose. Alright, this is a big turn. They used a 3 mana to cast a single counter spell. This is a slow matchup, so they don't use it for tempo. It means they probably don't have mana-based counter spells anymore in the end. And that's really good. Jadar, mind you. They could draw, because they have 1 extra card. Man, that was weird. Why wouldn't you cast Make Disappear before that? I think they had to draw it, otherwise it has literally no sense. Alright, of course. Of course. Against this kind of deck you definitely want to stack stuff, you know? Alright, that's important. I think this is the one. I don't want them to draw so many cards, okay? I prefer them to draw one card randomly than have a selection out of 3. Especially that it's also card positive heavily, and we still get a dude in the board, which is a difference. Alright. And don't forget we can cast the Emperor, but this usually means a negate. However, this on the other hand means a Raffine with 2 extra mana, so they cannot syncopate, they cannot make disappear, they need a 1 mana heart counter, which doesn't really exist, right? Earth-Eye Scorn is, but we need to cast 2 spells. Yeah, I actually think they couldn't counter, and suddenly our board starts to do stuff. And that's something Mono Blue does not like. It will be super hard to raise them though. Like, to be honest, we are racing against 6 power Jin that can pump itself like crazy. Terrors. We can still trade with terrors, but we need to take this one. Emperor is the key. Okay. Alright. I think we play Shordred. Shordred is really big deal here. They can counter him. They will counter him. Alright. They cannot kill us next turn. Not sure if we can kill them next turn. I don't think we can, to be absolutely honest. Oh, wow, we whiffed on both. That's not great, because I wanted to play Thalia as a blocker. Now I can't, because I need to buff the Earth-Eye or a dice for free. That's really unfortunate draw. I hoped for at least 1 card. Emperor is too important. This is our only way to win this. That's brutal. Also, Thalia makes their spells more expensive, and that would help with resolving the Emperor, so that was absolutely bad. Yeah, now they hold all the mana, and we are in a pickle. That's a big pickle. No Pickerick reference. Alright, so he has 3 cards. Full mana open. We can cast it at the upkeep. Like, this is our last turn, let's be honest. I think like defending won't win us the game ever. And this is a very bad card for this matchup. Alright, hopefully, okay. I hope that he will cast something at dance. Alright, sorry. Forgot about the untap phase, you know? We definitely need to cast something during his turn. And that's our big play. And if he has counter, he wins. Well, that was another enjoyable game against Mono Blue. Alright, so on the play with Thalia. Definitely a good start. Let's take it. I really want to draw an untapped land for the turn 3, because it's so important to go Thalia into Raffine, so much better than just Thalia. And we can only make one play on curve. Okay, that's a perfect draw. Thank you deck. You are a good guy. Alright, so Thalia. We seem to be against an aggro matchup, so it shouldn't make us huge difference. Oh, Azorius? No. Weird. Not sure what we play against. But I'm sure we will see very soon. Alright, so let's go with Raffine. Of course they can keep racing, but what we get as, you know, additional counters is still a big deal. Oh, that was enough. Okay, sure, I'll take it.